a scientific researcher. I'm a father of a child with autism.
I'm a chef and business owner, but before that, I'm a father of 4.
I'm a chiropractor. I've been involved with the vaccine movement for about 15 years.
Usually I'm in a suit, but today I'm shooting for another reason, for my son. Just telling my story about where I stand with vaccinations.
In the chiropractic world, there's a really strict philosophy. We're really about how the body works from the inside out. So vaccination obviously never played a role in that.
There were just a lot of uncertainties around at that time, so we didn't vaccinate. My 3 youngest kids, not one vaccination, had barely ever done antibiotics in their entire life.
We brought my son to the doctor and got MMR vaccine. So we regressed from a neurotypical child basically to completely mute. I mean, he lost all function, there was no eye contact. We actually went to check his hearing. We thought he actually had lost all his hearing. We thought he was deaf. So we had him tested, and he had basically Down syndrome level IQ.
When my son was small, he was about 1.5 years old when we noticed there's some things that changed in him. He lost eye contact. He was saying a few words and he lost those words.
He had no words at all whatsoever. So it was very obvious to me the regression came from the MMR vaccine, but we had a lot of pushback from the doctors, and every specialist that we brought him to, neurologist, gastroenterologist, they all said the same thing. There's no association, and you're completely crazy, you're off basis. The science is settled on this topic.
Unfortunately, we found out he did have autism at that time. By the time we started researching and figuring out what was going on, it took about another year to figure out that he had high levels of aluminum in his body, and that he wasn't able to detox it. This was all research that we had to do on our own. We had met with different doctors, and everybody said, "Oh, he's fine. Don't worry about it." The same thing with the growth delay. It happens. Nothing to worry about. And then we started seeing specialists who said, "No, he's definitely on the spectrum for autism."
There really wasn't a tremendous amount of education out there, but in recent times, we've kind of become under attack for not vaccinating, and there's a lot of conflicting points of views and a very small amount of people speaking out against vaccines.
I see in a daily occurrence in my office children that are vaccine injured. And when I say vaccine injured, I don't mean there are some cases that are really, really far to the right where they're immobile, they can't talk, but there's also ones that are on the other spectrum that have asthma, allergies, chronic illness. I see children that suffer for years with chronic illness, and the parents just don't know why.
So I actually set out to try to prove this wrong. The last conclusion I wanted to come to was that I was responsible for this. I wanted it to be genetic. I wanted them to be right. So I decided to go to a conference and prove it that vaccines do not cause autism. And when I got there, I was met with hundreds of scientists saying the exact opposite. There was just endless people with the same story over and over again. I had a regularly developed child regress into autism.
I'm really concerned about what we're doing to children today. Vaccinations, GMO food, screen time, 5G, all of these things come into play when we're talking about children's health.
There are a lot of people that'll say aluminum's natural and it's safe to ingest it, but injecting it plays a whole different role in your children's bodies. We did not get the same vaccines that our children are getting today. And our goal is to educate and make sure that people understand that there is a difference, and people need to be able to conversate more about this stuff and have an open mind to what is really happening.
We need a revolution, and we need more kids to be healthy, because right now, the way that things are going, kids are it's getting worse. They're getting more unhealthy, they're getting fatter, they're getting more obese, they're getting more chronic illnesses. Study after study is showing that illnesses are going up and health is not. So we need to start making some changes.